Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. The first fighting game in my tops. As it has already become a good tradition for CyberConnect 2 games, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. It offers luxurious cinematic scenes, during which time you press a few buttons for simplified access to the QTE bonus frames with the experiences of the characters. The entire history of the game is divided into chapters, which sometimes do not offer required to participate episodes that can be skipped. Each series has forecast the time spent on the passage, which is very convenient if you get up for work tomorrow, and the next episode will take you half an hour. Rage. It's post-apocalyptic shooter, which the unfolding events through the decades after the huge meteorite Apophis crashed into our planet. The main character, one of the lucky few who are in special rescue capsule arcs, was placed under the land to eventually resurrect humanity. The game is a classic shooter action which takes place in a desolate world full of bandits and mutants. The main ship of the game is the special role of racing competitions. Players have the opportunity to modify their cars with money earned in races. Most of the game is a shooter with open world, which sometimes turns out to be chained in the corridors of the storyline, TMNT, Mutants in Manhattan. This is a classic co-op action game about a Ninja Turtles on the story of comics author Tom Waltz. Players are available for 2-4 people cooperative and online multiplayer with multiple modes. The first thing that got me excited this fight with Rocksteady methods copied from TMNT 3 onwards. Second, pleased that this generation of jobs levels. The third is a cool style of the original comic TMNT. The fourth advantage is both Care and Bleeding Turtles themselves. The fifth is a great balance. Complexity can be measured on the normal past the level, sometimes getting stuck on a boss. Well, the only fun in my opinion is when you turn on the radar mode, you start to feel and look for the detonator Batman smile. As a child I loved the Turtles. Like many other children of my time, for me, the game is worth the money spent. So if you want a good game about Turtles, boldly shake Gemini, Heroes Reborn. It is an adventure game in which players play the role of a girl named Cassandra, who is trying to find kidnapped friend and with it, to find the answer to a family mystery. The game produced a much more positive impression on me than expected. The graphics on the level, interesting gameplay, plus an intriguing plot. Amazing mechanics with time travel and space, not in roles, and directly during gameplay as desired. Why is that when meeting the game seems much better than the video? I do not understand what it is connected. Perhaps a lack of aggressive advertising. According to the stereotype, they say if the game characters do not look at us with each banner, so they're cheap. It is understandable why I am about to had not heard anything, but the fact that developers cannot afford a huge advertising campaign in several $1 million does not make them less talented than they are. Deus Ex Human Revolution is an adventure role-playing game, made in the style of cyberpunk, developed by Eidos Montreal. The protagonist Adam Jensen, head Sharif Industries Detroit security company, one of the world's leading manufacturers of mechanical implants for humans. In the world of the sample in 2027, humanity is actually split into two camps. One advocates cybernetic improvements, while the latter strongly opposed to people engaged in augmentation. Jensen, who gets in the way of mysterious attackers, actually die, but thanks to the implants is reborn and starts to search for the perpetrators. That nearly killed him and stole the group of leading scientists, Sharif Industries, Sniper Elite V2. A simulator of the sniper. Action World War II. Venue, Germany. Stealing on the destroyed roofs besieged Berlin, dodging enemy bullets and penetrating to the sensitive sites. You have to single-handedly support the advance of the Soviet troops and to change the course of the war. Here, everything is taken into account. the speed and direction of the wind, the state of our hero, breath-holding, provision of fire. These parameters will depend on your accuracy and in fact, the probability of target killing. If you were cool, we will show a tough 18+ picture, bones, skull, heart, and other parts of the body breaks the enemy bullet. All the X-rays. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow 2. A computer game in the genre of slasher is a direct continuation of the first part. Waking up after centuries of oblivion, an effort to lose their shackles of immortality, Dracula must return their forces and enter into an agreement with death, to kill Satan and receive eternal rest. An epic adventure fantasy, taking place in a vast world today. For the first time in the Castlevania series, play of Dracula and discover the final fate of Lord of Shadows. A fascinating, albeit a little soap, the plot. Nice graphics and elegant music. With the gameplay, though, things are not so rosy. It is as if Kratos were castrated, and then tried to stick Shishak back and forced to fuck with ghouls. But in the absence of other representatives of the genre, and in anticipation of the new part of Devil May Cry for this game, you can spend many a pleasant evening. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. Fighting game Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen takes place in a huge open world. Players go on an epic adventure through the picturesque edge with 3 AI companions, pawns. Pawns are fighting on their own, developing skill and fighting ability based on traits acquired from one or another player. Players can publish their pawns, receiving in exchange value, strategic advice and techniques to fight monsters. Pawns and you can borrow. This is useful when in order to overcome certain difficulties need special skills. Great game, with a stunning ambience, despite not being the most advanced graphics. Interesting idea with Pawn's Companion, playful in Bovka/slasher style. A lot of the combat classes, and liked the idea of creating a character. Directly affect the gameplay in the future, but not limited to only the visual component, as in many rebounds per game. The only negative for me is the lack of an official of the Russian language, but this disadvantage is easily removes Mighty Crack Team from Alliance, separate respect guys. Total solid 10. Definitely should play all fans of the genre of role-playing games. Reconquest. This real-time strategy with the construction of bases. After World War III, humanity was on the verge of extinction. You must win back Earth, taking a forward-looking strategic decisions than your opponents. The most valuable of the remaining resources is shale gas. Having them will determine the outcome of many battles. The game has 3 modes. In campaign mode you can play for one of the 2 sides, for the United Cities or the Rogue Clan. Both campaigns are composed of 10 tasks, and the plot is presented in the form of comics. In the battle you can compete with AI-1-3 in one of the 8 cards. Trapped mode allows you to select one of the 8 predefined tasks. Space Hulk Deathwing. Game in the genre of first-person shooter, FPS, based on the classic board game Space Hulk from Games Workshop. The game is set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Project Space Hulk, Deathwing developed on Unreal Engine 4 technology and gives you a chance to enter into a fierce battle with the Genestealers in cramped corridors of the Space Wanderer in the company of 3 friends. Gain experience in the missions, you develop skills and master the skills and get new equipment. In the game you will assume the role of a Space Marine from one of the most secret and formidable divisions of Space Marine, Deathwing of the Order of the Dark Angels. As a librarian, you can also master the destructive forces of psychics. Effectively speaking, in battle, you earn points zeal, which can be divided into 3 tree skills. This makes it possible to improve their skills and gain access to new abilities. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Unforgettable subscribe, leave comments with games for the following issues and you will see very soon is all.